Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom, the University of Future that we call it at BW Businessworld in association with BW Education. And today we have a very special guest. We have with us Professor Ashoke Sarkar of IIT Jammu, who will be talking about the future of engineering education. Welcome, Mr. Sarkar, to this discussion that we do every Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. I want to straight away dive into my first question, which we can't avoid this question because we have faced this, which is about the impact of COVID-19 on the entire education ecosystem. How has it affected, in your view, and especially IIT Jammu, and how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, actually, you see, when nobody was prepared for such kind of situation as such, and just of the middle of March, when it came and we had to lock down, we are clueless actually how to because students were on campus. There was a small vacation period at that time. Some of the students had gone home as well. So suddenly this lockdown came.
Right.
So how to go about that? Because it cannot stop the semester and cannot jeopardize the future of the students. So very quickly we shifted to online teaching, and I must thank our faculty members. They adjust because most of us didn't have any clue of how to teach online. But they adjusted very well in the system.
Right.
And we completed the course on time. Only thing we did was that we didn't go for written test in that particular semester. So we instructed the faculty members to take quizzes and other evaluation components to conduct them. And at the end of the semester, they were added up. And then we have given them the grades. But here grade again, we are given some options, like the students were given options, and even the faculty members were asked, because at that point of time, 70% of the course content was complete. We said, okay, make it, analyze it to 100%, and whatever the student gets, accordingly, they can get that. Second option was that suppose the student is not happy with the grade, then we gave them the option also. You can just opt for pass and fail, so that it doesn't affect their CGPA, overall performance. And also, maybe we are the only institution. We also came up with a formula based on their performance in that particular previous semester and the overall performance. A formula was developed. And accordingly, the grading was done. So we circulated it among the students and the faculty members. And whichever gives them the maximum benefit, we went for that. And it was thoroughly, discussed among the faculty. It was sent to the students for their input, and then went ahead with that. So there was no issue on that. Only problem we faced regarding laboratory classes. So which we had to, so we'll have some of the laboratory will be doing it when the things improve. We could not continue them. But many of the cases, based on the 70% whatever they have done, we decided to go ahead with that and didn't bother them to again come back and do their laboratory courses. But we are very happy to say that your lecture classes along with evaluation components went quite well. Then we got some time in between for the next semester to start. So we took a big step,
Right. So tell me, what are the kind of solutions that you think education institutions can come up with? You briefly spoke about it, but in the last 9 months, there have been a lot of new learnings for the sector.
Yeah.
Do you think, let me ask you this, what are the key takeaways in your view from the last 9 months as far as premier institutions like yours are concerned?
No, I think that's why I was coming to, because in the first semester, when it suddenly happened, we were not really prepared for it. So for the next semester, we prepared ourselves. And we prepared 10 classrooms with the latest technology. And so that even they can, write on the iPad so that students can see them. And also we engaged one private operator so that the load on the faculty members will be less. So for example, I am taking a lecture, it will be recorded by them, and they'll be sending it to the students within 8 hours. That means the students because there are some issues like in some places, the internet connectivity was not very strong, particularly in J&K region. So, we sent them, and the kind of facilities we got was they can interact with the students, we can conduct tests. So, major load of only if I am to teach, I will be, preparing my PPTs and other things, go to the class, and most of the time they are taking care of other things, that is editing the videos and uploading it. Everything was done by them. Even I want to conduct a test, I will send it to them in the morning, and they will conduct it on. I'll be there in the class definitely, but load was reduced from the faculty members, which really helped us to do. And in the process, we also started, conducting written tests.
Okay.
So they will write. We will send the question paper. They will write it, then scan it and send it to us, and then we'll be evaluating them. So I think it is almost, we have reached a point almost, we are not missing the students on campus. Otherwise, the kind of things we have developed, it is almost as close to as evaluating them or when they are in campus. So this time we have already completed it. So we are quite happy with the result we have got. And this is a new learning for us. And if you talk to faculty members, some of the faculty members are very happy with the present situation. And I think we have learned quite a bit, and we have developed also. We took a risk, not risk, I should say. We take a big step in developing it. And we'll be continuing with this process. We are planning that even if the students are on campus, because you see, gradually we have to shift towards online teaching. Even NEP also talks about that.
Right.
So we'll be providing this facility. Suppose the student is not coming to a class, he or she can attend the class sitting in the room, hostel room, or even canteen or wherever it is. So since we have created this facility, we are going to utilize it.
Right.
And another thing we have done already, it is in the process, almost final stage we can say. Also, because this facility has been created, we have decided to interact with the students of engineering colleges in the UT of J&K and Ladakh. And we have given them the offer that we'll be taking courses for them as well. We have not started it, but next semester, maybe from August onwards, we are going to offer it. So some of the courses they can directly join our program, and also we are planning to give them a certificate based on their performance.
Right. Professor Sarkar, there is also a lot of emotional trauma associated with this pandemic. Everybody is going through. As far as the students are concerned and your faculty is concerned, are you looking at addressing this? It's a certain kind of emotional trauma that we are all dealing with. Are you also, as an institutional level, addressing it?
You see, we have got a counselor here, and we keep on getting some requests, and we have got a link with another mental health organization. If we are getting such kind of requests, we are canalizing through that so that they can help. Among the faculty, yes, I should not say anyone has got up to that level that they'll be needing help as such. But advantage was that we are in a small town, so what was happening, majority of the faculty members are coming to the campus. I think almost all of them. So they can, talk among themselves. They're taking their classes. So once you meet people, automatically the probability of, depression, etc. goes off. But students continuously, they are, writing to us or calling us that they would like to come back to the campus. Because, I personally believe that learning doesn't take place only through the lectures we do. Peer learning is very important. They not only the subject, they learn many things in life when they interact with their peers. So that definitely they're missing, and many of them are very much keen to come. But the present situation is not really allowing them to come. We are planning to call them, some of them, because we cannot keep them 2 students in one room. So we have got sufficient numbers of rooms so that we can accommodate 1 student in 1 room. It is again in a stage where I should not claim that we have already implemented. We are just working on that. And if it is possible, we'll do that.
Right. In the absence of a face-to-face class that we have seen over the last few months, tell me, do you think as we move on, the rise of virtual learning that we have seen will become a permanent part of the education, the way it's being taught? Do you think that is going to stay, or is just about the pandemic and as soon as it's over, we are back to where we were?
No. It is going to stay, and we should take full advantage, because whatever we have learned, the use of technology. Otherwise, there is no point in whatever we have learned. We'll have to use that. We have used technology, quite in a strong way, I should say. That is
right.
And that we should not allow it to go. And also this, as I have mentioned already, using this technology, we are also planning to offer programs for, outside world as such, certificate programs, etc. Even our students, as I told you, they need not be on campus or coming to the class, because if these kind of things continue, maybe we'll ask 50% of the students to be coming to the class, 50 of them will be staying in the hostel and listening to the lecture, filming the lecture. So this is going to stay, at least for IIT Jammu. I can assure you, we are going to use we are going to use this technology for future use, definitely. How best we can do it, how diversely we can do that will have to work.
Right. Talking about the UTs of Jammu and Srinagar and Kashmir and Ladakh, one unique thing than the rest of the country is that connectivity is a huge problem here. Even if you're going online, I think when you go to a UT regions, other than even move further, there are challenges. Have you faced, have you kind of raised these concerns, and how are you dealing with it? And as we see that the pandemic is going on, pandemic is here to stay for some more time, how are you going to address these challenges for students who are in these regions?
Actually, see, most of the institutions, colleges, they have got good internet connectivity. So we had a meeting with 8 engineering colleges, virtual meeting of this region. We could not contact, I think, Ladakh region as yet, though we tried. We had a detailed discussion with them, and in the institutions, they have got sufficient bandwidth, so that the students, if they come to the institute, they'll be able to attend the lecture delivered from IIT Jammu. So that should not be a major issue for us, I suppose.
Right. So IIT Jammu is a relatively new institution when you compare for the rest, and it comes with a certain brand recall. Tell me what all is being done to produce, the kind of people we see from all other over IITs. Are there, what kind of innovations are or new courses? Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, you see, it is not relatively. It is the new. We call it 3G. It is very new institution, 6 of us, and we are very proud, I should say, that we are doing very well. We are the only 3G IIT. We are working from the campus. We have developed, some part of the infrastructure already, and everything is on campus. We are not rented a place. There is one small unit in the city, but that is for research only. but students are staying in the campus. The classes are on campus. Administration is run from the campus. Maybe we are the only new IITs we are doing it. We have come up with initially we are having our course curriculum. We are because our mentor institution is IIT Delhi. Now, each IIT is given a mentor, new IIT. So Delhi was mentoring. So we are following the IIT Delhi curriculum. But last 2 years, we have developed our own curriculum. We got people from all the IITs and even beyond IIT. Had long discussions with them and come up with a model. I feel that it is better than many of the IITs because that is really helping the students to learn new things. And still there is scope. I'm not saying that is perfect. Still we are working on that, how to make it more flexible. I think key word is the flexibility. They look for that. So we have given enough flexibility to the students to pursue their own interest. Many a time you find that the students who get admission in certain disciplines, their real interest is something different. So we are giving them enough opportunity to grow in those areas. And that is the way we have developed our course curriculum. And we are still working and taking small steps to improve the course curriculum as such, make it more flexible. Yeah.
Right. There is also, let me come to the broader question of, the present scenario of education ecosystem. Yeah. How do you see it? What are the big improvements that are still needed despite the policy that we have in place?
You see, there are many challenges, because in the past, I think there was no planning of in the increase of number of institutions, particularly small private institutions in the country. If you look back in 1980s, early 80s, there are only around 100 engineering colleges, and total intake was 25,000. And suddenly, we are having now maybe close to 4,000, maybe slightly less than that, and 17 lakh student seats are available. And in the process, I think we have not really looked into the quality aspect, particularly for the private engineering colleges, because the boom came in the IT sector in around 2000. And, so many institutions came up all over India without having proper infrastructure, without having proper teachers, and there is no restriction on that. And in 2003, if I remember correctly, your Rao Commission suggested that for the next 5 years, there should not be any new institution. Government should not allow. But I think there are certain, restrictions if someone goes to court. I don't know exactly the reason, but they could not do that. So more and more institutions came up, and that too in one certain area. So diverse background we used to have, diverse kind of, disciplines we are producing earlier. That ultimately affected the growth of the disciplines, which are traditional disciplines. So you will find that many of the institutions, new institutions, they're not having civil engineering or electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, chemical engineering. Mostly they are going in IT sector. So the question is there a proper plan? Is there going to be so much of demand in after 5 years or 10 years? So we are not looking, if you look back, you remember that one time, maybe 15 years back, there was a boom of biotechnology. All the institutions in India, they started offering programs in biotech. But it has died down. So it should not happen to IT also, because we are, putting all the eggs in one basket, which is not correct. And we don't have a plan, even we don't know exactly from the national level. What is the need of the industry? How many people are going their need in a certain discipline in next 5 to 10 years? Accordingly, the planning should be done. And we'll have to think ahead, which is not being done. The present demand is there, so let us start, new programs on those areas. We're not looking into the future. Until and unless we project the requirements in this country, in a developing country, there will be tremendous need of engineers, no doubt about that. But in which disciplines? Which are the areas we need to focus? So that I think we don't do much of work in that. And in the process, many of the private institutions, they are, profit making institutions. So they will go for something which will, immediately they can cash on. So that is creating a lopsided development of certain disciplines, whereas the traditional disciplines are not getting, proper focuses. So my suggestion would be that we should, at the government level, they will have to interact with the industry. What is the, future of industries, or even, let me tell you, because I am basically a transportation engineer, development, etc. Now, maintenance is one area we don't teach them.
Right.
So these are the areas we need to concentrate now. Other than new fields that are going to come up. So we need to look into it, and we have to find out which areas we need so many, how many persons approximately. It cannot be accurate. And accordingly, we should allow and develop the programs.
Right. I have a couple of more questions. One is that COVID has also impacted market sentiment and hiring, and all of that has also been impacted. And how has IIT Jammu dealt with this crisis of placement, for example? How have you dealt it, and how have you given that emotional support again to or counseled your students? And what has the industry response been?
So actually, one good thing has happened. I don't have the data to share with you, but I am talking to our friends in placement section. They are saying the number of companies coming this time is much more than what it was last time. So that is a good news for us. And we didn't expect that. We thought, the economy is suffering and who is going to provide jobs. So it is completely almost different from what we expected.
Right.
Exact statistics I don't have, but he was saying the number of companies who visited us is almost double this time, till date, and it will be much more in future. So it is not really, and we have got a strong, not a very large number of faculty, but 3-4 very dedicated faculty members are working on this placement, and they are in constant touch with the students. And if there is any kind of, because what we have now learned, this is the second batch we will be facing. So first batch, whatever we have learned through their process, they are sharing with the students. They keep on asking what kind of things should we ask and kind. So it is difficult, definitely, because if the students are here, and the industries also visit us in the campus, there's a different kind of experience they have. But that is not happening, so we'll have to live with that. But overall, I think it has not affected us much in case of placement.
Right. Okay, that's good news. Tell me, Mr. Sarkar, where do you see IIT Jammu from 2 years from now, given that you have already started creating that niche which IITs always come with? Where do you see IIT Jammu in the scheme of premier institutions?
You see, an institution, to me, it takes decades to really develop. But whatever we have achieved in 4 or 5 years' time, I think all of us are very proud of.
Okay.
Kind of facilities we are providing to the faculty members, the facilities we are providing to the students, the kind of education we are providing them, even placement record is also to be quite good. So overall, we have achieved in 4 years' time. To me, it is quite a satisfactory. Now we have got a growth plan ready for the institute. So you have the plans, in 22, how many students we are going to take, 24, how many will the growth. So growth plan is ready with us. So what are the things we are going to do? That is already, on paper, it is ready, and we are implementing that. So gradually we are shifting, towards more of research, because, I always believe that an university, his job is not only to teaching, but create knowledge. Otherwise, it becomes another college. So, creating knowledge is very important. For that, we have, given a lot of stress on research. We have increased the number of intake in PhD. We are offering a number of intake programs already. I think many of the, compared to new IITs, we are quite well ahead of that. So that will give dividend to us definitely. And also we have prepared a research plan, what are the research-based growth, in which are the areas we are going to concentrate. So we have decided that Himalayan region will be our target because we are here. At the same time, 8 different pillars have identified in which we like our faculty members. It is not that they will not be working in other areas as well, but our focus would be these 8 areas. And defense is one major area we are going to concentrate, and how to develop this region will be our focus. So we have got a plan ready for, as I have mentioned to you, for teaching, we have got the course curriculum ready. The pedagogy is another thing which we are working on that. New things are coming up. Research, we have got a proper plan what we're going to achieve, and a lot of funding compared to other IITs in research. A lot of incentive to the students, faculty members to carry out the research. So I think it should go, the way we like the institute to go. I don't have any doubt in that.
Great. My final question to you, Professor Sarkar, is that as we move on from here, what are the broad trends that would define higher education, especially at premier institutions? What kind of trends do you foresee, that we have to see, that we have to kind of deal with as we move along?
What kind of? I could not make understand you. What you are saying?
So what would be the broad? Okay. What will be the broad trends that would define premier education, or the higher education from here on, given what we have seen, the market changing, the impact of pandemic, the rise of online education? So are there any trends that you foresee that would define the higher education space from here on?
Irrespective of COVID and kind of, until and unless we change ourselves continuously, we'll be having problem. Even our NEP took 34 years to come up with a new NEP. It was due long time back. Similarly, each institution should continuously innovate their teaching, research, everything continuously, and they should be in touch with the market. Because you see, providing jobs to the students or creating entrepreneurs, that should be the two targets the institute should have. And those who are going for higher studies also, a large number of students will be going for that. They will be prepared for that. So until and unless we keep track of what is happening in the market, in the industry, we will be lagging behind. So we'll have to develop very good, relation with the industry, be in constant touch. Already we really started doing that. We had planned to have a get together of industry here on campus, so that we can invite them, try to get their feedback, what they are looking for in a student, and for the future, what kind of that is skills they are looking for, because skill set will keep on changing. When we were students, the kind of skills we had, now the students will be having different kind of skills. So until and unless we are aware of that, we keep track of that, we'll be having problem in future. So each institutions will have to be under pressure on that. We'll have to learn new things. What are the things that are happening? For example, I'll give you. For example, when we were students, we never heard of that is cooperative learning, or working in a group. Individually, students are brilliant. Now the things have changed. We are saying that you should learn how to work in a group. And particularly the advantage in IIT is that we have got students from all over India. So working in a group helps you to know so many other things from other cultures, which really enrich them. And now the time has come so that we get students from other countries, because ultimately they will have to work in international group, not national group anymore. So how to deal with them? What will be the kind of social background of these people? How to deal with all these things they will have to learn rather than their technology. And technological things also keep on changing. For example, I'll tell you, when we were students in civil engineering, the courses we used to do, some of the new courses have come up now, many of them. So now these courses we never heard of in those days.
Right.
So keep on changing the curriculum continuously, keeping in view the new developments that have taken place, the demand, market demand, and we have to merge them because we cannot satisfy everything. So what is the optimal solution is to find out, and we have to work on it. And we are doing that at IDEA.
Right. So listening to the changing market and adjusting to it curriculum-wise, the key takeaways from Professor Sarkar's conversation. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and it's been wonderful talking to you. I hope we can have a face-to-face meeting very soon.
I will let the pandemic go, then we'll invite you to come.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time, sir.
Nice talking to you. Thank you so much.